On November 9th, 1867, the shogunate abdicated rule of Japan to the emperor and the imperial court. The Tokugawa resigned their position in the government, and with that, the shogunate was essentially eliminated. On January 16th, 1868, retainers of the Satsuma domain who'd heard about the restoration of imperial rule gathered in Kyoto. In an effort to counter their presence, the Shinsengumi was assigned to the defense of the Fushimi magistrate's office. Then, only 2 days later, Kondo was shot while on his way back from a conference with the leaders of the old shogunate army. By the 20th, Kondo had been sent to Osaka to recover from his injury under the care of Dr. Matsumoto, along with Okita, whose illness seemed to have taken a turn for the worse. Worried as they were about Kondo and Okita, the rest of the Shinsengumi remained in Kyoto to keep close watch on the movements of the Satsuma. They encountered them in a number of skirmishes, but in large part were unable to welcome the new year unharmed. January 27th. She was busying herself in the compound around the time the men began to return from their patrols.
ただいま。今日の冬は相変わらず骨にくるよな。たく、薩摩の連中め。めでてえ時期だってのに、軍勢率いて今日に押しかけやがって。おかげで雑煮を食う暇すらねえじゃねえか。少しは考えろよな。
He continued muttering angrily to himself as he pulled off his coat and hung it up.
はは、長倉君、外を歩いている時からずっと雑煮の話ばっかりだね。
だってさ、正月はやっぱ餅食って寝るのが醍醐味ってもんだろ。それとも、もしかして薩摩には正月がねえのかな。
さして問題はなかった。今のところはだが。
Saito's reassurances allowed her to relax, if only a little. She had no idea what might happen in the days to come, but she thought it would be nice to at least enjoy the New Year's festivities in peace. She'd just let out a small sigh of relief when a noise like a small thunderclap sounded from somewhere outside the compound.
なんだ、今の銃声だったよな。
The earlier good humor evaporated, and every face in the room turned toward the source of the sound, tense and serious.
ああ、とうとう始まりやがったか。
That gunshot was the beginning of what would later become known as the Battle of Toba Fushimi. They later learned that the Satsuma had opened fire on shogunate soldiers attempting to enter Kyoto, but at the time they heard it, they knew nothing.
どっちの兵が発砲したんだ？ちょっくら外に出て確認してくるか。
落ち着け。副長が戻ってくる前に勝手な行動は起こさぬ方がいい。
とりあえず他の大使にも声かけてきた方が良さそうだな。ちょっと行ってくるぜ。
Saito nodded, and Harada ran off. Within moments, the atmosphere in the magistrate's office changed. It didn't feel right for her to just stand around. Saito turned back to look at her when she spoke.
そうだな。お前は。
Then it happened. A deafening explosion tore through the air, and the building itself shook. It was no gunshot this time.
なんだ、いきなり地震が起こったわけじゃねえよな。 ってことは
Saito and Nagakura looked at one another, then ran off out the door of the building.
どうなってやがんだよこりゃ
She could hear their voices outside. What was going on? A cluster of shots rang out, and she jumped. Saito returned, his placid face even more stern than usual.
隣の龍雲寺に大砲が仕掛けられている。おそらく薩摩の連中の仕業だろう。
The walls shook again as the cannon's thunderous report tore through the air.
くそこのままじゃ壁を破られちまうのも時間の問題だぜ
He swore in frustration.
新八、敵の懐に飛び込んで向こうの大砲を奪うってのはできねえのか。
ちと難しそうだな。なんせ奴らは銃を持ってやがるし、それも一人や二人じゃねえ。
Each shot made her jump as it slammed into the building. It was a foolish idea, and she knew it. But she felt so useless just standing around and screaming. She had to do something. Saito's glance fell on her, and one of his eyebrows twitched in what might have almost been surprise.
ここにも一応大砲は運び込んである。だがたとえ撃ったとしても効果は薄い。敵の陣はここより高台にある。低いところから高いところに撃ち込んでもおそらく弾は届かない。それに龍雲寺は森に囲まれている。敵陣に当たる前に木々で防がれてしまう。撃っても命中はしないだろう。
Then there was nothing they could do. They just had to sit there and let them attack. That was when Shimada ran in.
大変です。薩摩の部隊がこの伏見奉行所を包囲しようとしています。
Saito sucked at his teeth, and she could see his mind working furiously, searching for a solution.
建物にかなりの損傷が出てるみてえだな。このままだと崩れちまうのも時間の問題か。
Hijikata appeared, short of breath and wearing his headguard and Shinsengumi uniform.
近藤さんに本隊の指揮を任された。これから反撃するぞ。
His words sent the magistrate's office into a frenzy.
よっしゃ、そうこなくっちゃな。やられっぱなしってのは性に合わねえよ。さっきから体がうずうずしちまって。
で、どういう作戦で行くつもりなんだ。大砲で反撃すんのか。
当たらねえ大砲を引っ張り出しても意味がねえ。最前線に打って出るしかねえだろ。運が良きゃ向こうの武器を奪うこともできるかもしれねえ。
よし、そうこねえとな。
やってやろうじゃねえか。薩長の連中見てやがれよ。
They all seemed more than ready to fight and win, but something still worried her.
"幕兵の数は1万5000。薩長の兵士の数は多く見積もっても5000と聞いている。
Saito's mouth thinned into a tight line, and he looked at her for a moment before he answered.
定石通りならばな。
She was about to ask him what he meant when Hijikata began to call out orders.
よし、敵を一歩たりとも敷地内に入れるんじゃねえぞ。焦らず倒していけ。源さん、ここの守りを頼む。俺は部隊を率いて本陣を攻めてくるからな。
ああ、任せておいてくれ、トシさん。
He nodded and trotted off toward the entrance.
さっき入った報告じゃ、敵の本陣は五穀神社らしいが、途中にでっかい坂がありやがる。しかも坂の上には銃を持った兵が構えてると来てる。登ってる間に狙い撃ちされちまうな。これを打開する策といや。
Hijikata's voice trailed off, but all the men around him seemed to understand what that silence implied. If they were to win, they would have to thrust their forces into the heart of the enemy encampment. That would mean running straight into the line of gunfire. The men who left to go on the attack would be facing a good deal more danger than those left at the magistrate's office. There was a moment of silence before Nagakura fixed Hijikata with a confident look and spoke.
よし、わかった。そんじゃあ、俺が切り込んでくるぜ。
やってくれるか、野中君。
His surprise gave way almost immediately to solemnity.
誰かが行かなきゃならねえんだろ。だったら行くさ。このままやられっぱなしでいるよりはいい。
He gave Hijikata a grin, and then turned to his men in the second division.
悪いな、2番組のみんな。命知らずな組長を持ったせいで、地獄の底まで突き合わせることになっちまって。
何を言ってるんですか、長倉組長。俺は武士ですから、今さら命なんて惜しくありませんよ。
Shimada spoke up without hesitation. Saito looked up as Shimada spoke. Was something wrong? She thought perhaps he looked as if he wanted to say something, but it could have just as easily been her imagination.
よし、それじゃ2番組を切り込み隊に指名する。五穀神社を攻撃してきてくれ。
なあ、任せといてくれよ。この長倉新八、ただじゃ死なねえぜ。
飛び込むときは俺たち10番組が援護してやるからな。安心して突っ込んでってくれよ。
それでは行ってきます。
With grins and more playful banter, Nagakura, Shimada, and Harada sauntered outside and out of sight. Sauntered. She saw a muscle in Hijikata's jaw twitch as he watched them go. Then he turned toward the rest of them.
斉藤、お前は部下を連れて龍雲寺に向かってくれ。とりあえず、あの砲撃を止めなきゃどうにもならね
え。わかりました。
His voice was flat and measured as ever. Whatever he might be thinking, it was impossible for her to guess.
お前はここに残っている。今度ばかりは生き延びられる保証などない。
He turned on his heels without so much as a goodbye and headed for Ryuin Temple. It wasn't going to be an easy fight. Would they even return alive? This was the first time the Shinsengumi had fought such a large force, as well as the first time they'd faced guns and cannons. She believed in their skill, but she couldn't help feeling a certain amount of trepidation. With little else to do, she fell to praying for their safety and lost herself in the worries. She didn't know how much time had passed before she felt a hand on her shoulder.
雪村君、大丈夫かい？ずいぶん落ち込んだ顔をしているようだが。出て行ったみんなのことが心配なんだね。大丈夫だ。ちゃんと戻ってくるとも。決まっているだろう。武士というのは何があっても決して約束をたがえたりしないものだよ。あの状況で決死隊に志願した長倉君や島田君、そして斉藤君は今の世には珍しい本物の武士だ。武士というのは、男というのは決して女の子を悲しませたりはしないものだよ。だから大丈夫だ。
His words helped to calm her doubts. It was natural of her to worry, but she had forgotten what they were, all talented, intelligent men, capable of forging their own destinies, not frightened boys sent off to war and subject to the whims of fate. Courage in the face of death was perhaps a true samurai's greatest asset, and they had courage aplenty. The words were only just out of her mouth when Yamazaki ran into the magistrate's office, his face drawn.
山崎君、どうしたんだね。
井上さん、敵陣営付近の兵は銃で武装しているのでとても近寄れません。こちらが間合いに近づく前に撃たれてしまってはどうにもなりませんでした。
そうか、これはいかんね。
His brows knit.
敵の主力は銃か。ならば日が沈んだ後だと狙いを定めにくくなるな。
He nodded solemnly.
羅刹隊を派遣するしかないだろう。
そうですね。それしかないでしょう。
三男さんと東堂君に伝えなくては。山崎君、一緒に来てくれ。
はい。
Sometime later, the Fury Corps moved out under Sinan's command. They did have strength far beyond any normal human. Perhaps they would be able to turn the tables. Something still felt wrong. This battle was unlike anything she'd experienced before, and her mind was still racing to catch up. She felt as if she was missing something important. But what? A gunshot sounded from the entrance. Their men would have no reason to fire, which means it had to be...
おい、新選組の主力は奉行所から出払ってるみたいだぜ。今のうちに崩せ。
Only moments after the soldier's voice reached her, Yamazaki ran into the room, his eyes wide.
井上さん、このままでは奉行所は落ちます。せめてどこか一体だけでも呼び戻さないと。
しかし、誰が伝令に行くというのだね。ここを開けてしまうのはまずかろ
う。俺が伝令に向かいます。だから。
Inoue shook his head.
山崎君を行かせるわけにはいかんよ。情けない話だが、私一人ではこの奉行所を守りきるのは無理だ。
それは、そうですな。
Yamazaki frowned and began pacing back and forth. Once again, the deafening thunder of the cannon shook the magistrate's office. If the bombardment continued, they were surely done for.
しかし君では。
Her father had seen it that she had some training in martial arts, but there was no way she could hold her own against a Satsuma soldier. And she was a demon after all. If she was wounded, it would heal quickly. In fact, she could probably take 1 or 2 bullets and not die.
確かにな。今ここを離れることのできる人間は君しかいないだろう。
In no way seemed torn, but it took him only moments to make up his mind. He wasn't happy about it, but they all knew that there was no time to waste.
わかった。それでは君に行ってもらうことにしよう。だが君が行くのなら本陣の五航空神社は危険だ。斉藤君のいる龍雲寺の方に行ってもらおう。彼にここの現状を伝え、すぐ戻るように言ってほしい。
俺たちが薩摩勢の目を引きつけておく。その間に裏から出るんだ。
ここを落とせば新選組は終わりだ。行け。
ここから先には一本も入れんぞ。
当たらない鉄砲などただのおもちゃ。かかってこい。
She said a silent prayer of thanks and protection for Inoue and Yamazaki, and ran for the back door. She ran through the darkened forest, the stars and moon providing little light down beneath the canopy. The night was thick and black. She could barely see. But fear would have to wait. She had no time. She could hear the cannon firing again and again in the darkness. There had to be fighting going on nearby, although she couldn't see it. She hoped fervently that everyone was safe. She could just make it in time. She felt someone nearby and slowed to a halt. All around her were men wearing the blue jackets of Shinsengumi, grimacing in pain. It wasn't just a few of them. They'd gathered together in groups, spread out through this section of forest, and at the center. Saito stood, sword in hand, his chest heaving. What was going on? She'd never seen him before so tired.
なるほど。目を見張る体力です。生身の体で我々鬼の動きについてくるとは。
Beyond Saito stood Amagiri, the demon. She stepped back, and a twig snapped beneath her foot. Slowly, deliberately, Amagiri's gaze turned toward her.
おや、君はこのようなところで何をしているのです。まさか今日が戦場と化した今も彼らと行動を共にしているのですか。
She chose to ignore Amagiri, and instead turned to Saito.
Nani?
He inclined his head slightly in acknowledgement, then turned back to Amagiri, his eyes blue slits.
なるほど。では一刻も無駄にはできんな。
The moment the last word was out of his mouth, he leapt forward with tremendous speed, and his sword flickered through the air, heading straight for Amagiri. At first, she didn't believe what she was seeing. Amagiri had caught the incoming blade with his bare hands, and then flung it aside. Then, in the same movement, he made to chop his hand into Saito's unguarded side.
Amai.
He deflected Amagiri's blow with his left arm, and struck again with his sword. He dodged to the side, avoiding the sword thrust, but Saito took that split-second opening to launch another attack, driving Amagiri back. His steel shimmered in the night, leaping through the air and snaking its way through Amagiri's defense to strike at his vitals. But even without a weapon, Amagiri blocked or deflected every blow, and Saito's attacks never seemed to land, until the very tip of Saito's sword slid across Amagiri's cheek, and a thin line of blood trickled down his face.
驚きました。まさか人の身で私と戦える者がこの世に存在したとは。あなたは素晴らしい戦士です、斎藤。おそらく鬼ですら、あなたと対等に戦える者は多くないでしょう。
俺は戦士ではない。一介の武士に過ぎぬ。
He paused a moment to wipe beating sweat off of his forehead.
しかし、その強さはあくまでも人のものに過ぎません。人の身の限界というものを思い知らせてあげましょう。
What she saw then, she could scarcely believe. On Amagiri's forehead, horns appeared. Great, white things, like what you might see in old books or paintings. His hair turned white, like that of a fury, and his eyes began to glow with a strange, otherworldly light. When he spoke, his voice rumbled with a terrible power.
この姿を人の前にさらしたのは今が初めてです。あなたの強さに敬意を抱いているからこそ全力で戦わせていただきます。
Then he leapt towards Saito like a bullet from a gun, closing the distance between them in a blink of an eye. He was far, far faster than he had been a moment before. Saito did his best to keep up with Amagiri's blows, but he seemed slower now. No, Saito wasn't slower. Amagiri was just too fast for him.
それが人の身の限界ですか。
He sounded almost disappointed. Saito cried out as Amagiri struck his left arm. He ground his teeth, and sweat dribbled down his forehead. The pain he was feeling had to be incredible. Had Amagiri's blow broken his arm? But he ran toward Amagiri, his sword held high, and defiance burning in his eyes.
愚かなことを。
He battled Saito's attacks aside, one after another, as calmly as if he were waving away flies. Saito was in bad shape. He looked tired, and though he had managed to ignore the pain thus far, his arms still clearly hurt him. If he didn't gain the upper hand and quickly, he'd lose to his own fatigue.